Okay, people, we're live here for the Modern Survivalist with my friend Gustavo from PatagoniaSupervivencia 4x4. He has a Spanish survival preparedness channel. Gustavo, a pleasure speaking with you. How's your English?
Well, first of all, I want to apologize with all of you because my English is very rusty. So if you see me to speak a little slow, it's not that I have a neural issue or something. So I'm trying to translate all my thoughts. So, well, please
You're
be patient.
already, listen, Gustavo, you're already speaking better than the president of the United States. So I will assume that everyone is okay with you. It's one of those topics because in this channel I talk quite a bit about the political stuff with the political divide. With Joe Biden and Trump, which is something that we're very familiar with from our own country. In Argentina, we've had this political divide for a very long time. And it's the same thing, the right and left, very hard left and this conservative right that and at the end of the day, you don't know how much of a controlled opposition it is. Basically, they're both taking advantage of us and we're just crushed between the two, right? Would that be something you agree with?
Yes, here in Argentina, it's the same. It's the same. Or you're in the left or you're in the right, but when the left and right are very extreme, we're
all screwed.
They're the same. So you never know who is earning with all this.
Who's making money? Who's making money with all the division and all the?
Someone is making big money. There's no doubt of that.
Yeah, and it used to be, and folks in US know this. It used to be that you could be Democrat or Republican, and people got together and still had family dinners, and everyone, you may have voted for one guy or for another, but it wasn't a family that stopped talking to one another. And the same thing happened to us. In fact, it happened to us before it happened in US. With our same versions, families that don't speak to one another anymore, parents that don't speak to their kids. And we were just talking in the Spanish channel how much all of this is organized, and how when you throw into this mix all the woke nonsense, this insanity of confusing people. Are you a man or a woman? Can a man compete against women? And if you say anything, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're a transphobe, all of this mental stupidity is basically designed to keep us all divided, right?
Yes.
And it's being promoted.
And I think it's want to divide us, and it want to destroy the family concept, the concept family. I don't know if that because they want to reduce the population or something like that. I don't know. But it's understanding what is happening. What is why they want this? Who earn with this problem? Who earn with the work culture? I don't know.
Yeah. I think that if we were just talking about this in the Spanish channel. If you look at the owners of the different corporations, I mean, if you look at who's the owner of pretty much everything, when I say everything, I mean Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, the manufacturers of weapons, of fucking airplanes, Disney, CNN, Fox, whatever, and Google and YouTube and Apple. Every single time, there's always going to be a 25, 30% or more ownership of BlackRock, Vanguard, Main Street. There's always going to be those, and those three companies, they own one another. If you look at Vanguard, is 25% BlackRock. So this is basically the elite of that dominates the entire world. Is the same people.
Well, when you see this post-apocalyptic movie where there's no countries anymore, but there are corporations. See, something
like Wally.
Yes, there was always is a very big corporation who owns everything, and we are on that way.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen Wally? The Disney, was it Disney or Pixar? Who is it? Wally.
Yeah, Wally. Yes, yes.
Right.
The fat
Well,
boys.
Wally is one of my favorite movies because that's how we'll end up, all fat and stupid, all dressing the same. And listen, everything is by. I mean, it's a great movie if you think about it.
Yeah.
Everything is by and large. By and large is like Amazon. By and large owns everything, and there's only one company. It's all by and large. It's a very interesting movie. I think it's very
well. I was seeing a documentary about Amazon and the grocery stores. You say supermercados. And it's amazing what they are doing, but it's very worrying too.
It's evil.
It's evil, obviously, because they are going to administrate everything in your life, from the food, entertainment, transportation, everything. They're gonna have control.
Hey, let me ask you about something maybe unrelated or not, but what do you think about Elon Musk? Because he's one of those, putting my finger exactly on where the guy is. There's things I like from him. There's things that are obviously super shady. I don't buy all of this thing about how he's now the savior of free speech. If you look at all the funding he got and all the money that he got, the money that comes from the green energy budget, the electric car thing, what's your opinion on him?
Well, the first time I hear about Elon Musk was in the last 90s when he sold PayPal in 1998, something like that. I heard about the first time I heard about him. Then I don't hear nothing for many years. Still, he bought a Tesla. And then, well, we all know the story. I think it's very, very interesting in person. It's like Tony Stark in real life. So,
well, isn't that, give me a minute. Look, isn't it like when Bill Gates first started that he had this? They created like this character of Bill Gates. Like he was Bill Gates from Microsoft. You're right. He was this nerd that he was some kind of genius, and he invented Microsoft. That's the story that we were sold.
But he's a big thief.
Right, but then we learned that in fact all of that mostly came from his mother that worked for IBM, and he was no genius. He was just I feel that sometimes he's presented like this Tony Stark, a cool, fun guy, and I don't know, maybe I'm an asshole and I just distrust everything too much. Hey, so for people that are just now, Gustavo, he's in Argentina. He has a prepper channel. Well, PatagoniaSupervivencia 4x4. When did you first? Yeah, there's a channel in Spanish. When did you first start getting into everything prepper, everything survival? What was your origin story? Let's put it that way.
Well, first of all, I have the first love with knives when I was a child. When I was very small, my father bought me a Jungler King 3, the little one. And well, it was a great knife. I still have it. Someone here. Okay.
You have it around there? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I still have the little one. It's a great knife.
Great little knife.
Yes, I do very wild things with this little knife, and
it's very tough. It's a strong knife, right? In spite of being
very tough, very tough little knife. It's
hollow handle.
Hollow handle.
Yes.
Hollow handle, but hollow handle has bad press. No, but
yeah, exactly. But it's a lot stronger than people think.
But these things is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's harder like a full tank, but
Yeah.
it's a very, very strong knife.
Look, it's Aitor. It's made in Spain. It's a lot more high quality than people. A lot of people think that that's like a Chinese copy. No, that's the knockoff copies from China.
It's huge,
The real
huge
thing
knife.
is a serious knife. Yeah,
I
yeah,
have,
absolutely.
well, so then I show you more knife. So when I was a little boy, I love to do things with knives.
Outdoors.
Outdoors, yes, to make bows with arrows and all of those things. Little hands with ¿cómo se dice? Gomera es
Yeah, a slingshot, like a slingshot. Right.
slingshot and those things. Then I don't do anything about this for many years. I go to study to Buenos Aires. I study advertising, so it's nothing to do with this. And when my father dies, I was 42, 43, so I was a big boy. And I get all the knife he has because my brother say, "Well, I don't want this.
Right.
You love knives. Take it."
You inherited his knife collection.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then with my father's knife, I start my collection, and I began to see first the Spanish channels of knives and the bushcraft channel. I say, "Wow, I love this. I very like this. I want to do this." So I began to buy equipment and start to make outdoors.
Right. And you actually live in Patagonia. You know that you have so you live in Patagonia.
I always live in Patagonia. When I was 10 years studying in Buenos Aires, but I always came back to Patagonia. I live in the center of the Patagonia, where my father has a campo, country, no?
Yeah, farm, like a farm, but campo, yeah. The difference is like for Americans, they think of a farm. A campo in Argentina is like a huge extension of land. It's like hundreds of acres.
Yeah, we have 10 leguas. Is 38,000 hectares. I don't know how to.
Right, 30. Yeah, let's put it. It's like 38,000 acres. You know, it's actually bigger. Hectarea, acre. Well, just to give you an idea, it's 38,000 hectares. Right, it's a lot of land, guys. So that's one of the differences because in the United States they think that
when I was there, I start to live with all this equipment in real life, to use fire guns, to use eggs, to use the knives, to do everything, riding horses all the time. So I love that. Then then my father dies. We have to sell the property. So but I still love to do this when I can. I have my bike, go to the wildlife. I live very near to wildlife here.
Yeah.
So I make an asadito, barbecue, go fishing, and all that stuff.
It's a lot less for people that don't know much about Argentina or Patagonia, the southern part of the country. It's very there's very little population. There's nothing like that in the United States. Anywhere you go in US, even though you have big extensions of lands and such, you still have lots of roads and lots of people living compared to West Patagonia. You could drive for days and not find a soul. That's very
we have
unlikely.
Here in Chubut, we have 1.2 inhabitants per kilometer. Square kilometer. I don't know how you say
just like a little bit smaller than a mile. So one inhabitant per a little bit under a square
Yes.
mile. Yeah, give
Yeah.
or take. Somewhat along. Yeah, it's very different. But talking about a little bit of your experience, because I always talk in my channel about how it was for me going through the 2001 the crisis in Argentina, the 2001 crisis. How was it for you? How did it? In what moment, like, were you in life, and how did you deal with banks closing? Because there's a lot of people worried about that now.
Well, it was very difficult for us. The 2001, I was in the country, in the big farm, like you said.
Land, my land,
have,
yes.
we have sheeps. We live with wood, lana?
Wool, like wool, yes, wool.
Yeah. So we were in those business. When it came $1, when we was working, $1 was 1 peso.
You're right.
Then,
yeah, correct.
When in one day $1 was 3.75 pesos.
Right.
So it was a complete disaster. Complete disaster. We have a bank préstamo.
You had a loan, un préstamo,
well,
right?
We have a loan to production, and in one day we have to $1,000, $100,000 to $3.75
So they converted your debt to US dollars.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Screwing you over bad. Yes.
So there was terrifying, and the price of good was very, very down, and we stuck 5 years of good, waiting to the price get upper, but
go up.
But it didn't go up, so we have to sell all the property.
At a loss, you had to sell, because so you had the wool stored waiting for the price to go up, and it didn't. Exactly. Right. Exactly. And that's, you were selling the wool like in the local market. You were selling it abroad. You were selling it outside. You were exporting.
No, it was a local market, but it was a market for international selling. But we sell it locally.
Yeah.
But it was a completely disaster for us. Completely disaster. All my life was to. I was, how to say, have expectation to live with this business.
Right. Yes.
And
that was destroyed.
And I was to make something completely different to live.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I try to explain people is that even though you live in a farm, or you live out in the country, this still affects you, like you're explaining now, because your production, your business is still affected, even if you're living I mean, you're talking about having a huge extension of land that most Americans, 30,000 acres. It's actually more than that. But imagine having so much land and still your business suffering so much.
Yeah.
Did you see like any, in your town, because me being in Buenos Aires, we saw a lot of rioting, looting, burning, all of that crime did you see like in your local community that as well, or it was safer, it was better?
It was safer, but we have some how we say, when they attack supermarkets and
looting. Yes.
It happened too.
It happened as well.
Like in Buenos Aires or in the conurbano, but we suffer too. A little bit, but we suffer too.
Let me ask you something else, because one of the things that sometimes people think here in the channel is that, well, I live, for example, Patrick Pleasant says, it sounds like Alaska.
Yeah, well, it's like
a little bit like that, especially if you go southern,
it's
even
warmer.
more. Yeah,
A little bit warm.
a little bit warmer. But depending, if you go down to like Ushuaia, that is like
Yeah,
Alaska.
that's
That's freaking
that's like
cold.
Alaska. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But they think that just because you're in the country that it's safer. Do you have crime in the country? Do you have to guard your buildings, the animals? Is it something that you have
No,
to worry about?
very safe. It was very
Mhm.
safe in the moment because it's very far away
It's very
from
far
the
away.
city.
Yeah, it's
Very far away.
days away.
Yeah,
It's several days away.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. How about now? Is it still okay now, or because I hear lots of people that have to they steal cattle or they have problems with machinery being stolen. Is that something you're seeing more of, or it's still not a problem over there?
Here is not a problem here
Mm.
where
Yeah.
I live, but
Yeah.
in other places it's a problem. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, it's not a main concern that you have. Like, have you ever had anything robbed or stolen from your?
Well, I have my house was stolen 5 years ago. Uh,
Okay, they broke
but
in. They went in and stole
yeah,
stuff.
but here there is no violence in the meaning that they stole your house where you are not there. So
Okay, when it was empty. Okay.
yeah, so go on vacation or something like that,
Mhm.
and the house is empty. You
They break
always
in.
break
Mhm.
in. Yes, it could happen. It happened to me one time,
Right.
and yes, it's possible to happen. But
Yeah.
you don't see to the violence that you are in the home and they come in to stall you in
Yeah.
your house.
Right.
But in Buenos Aires, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It's very
every
common.
day. It's every day.
Yeah. No, and even like in the campos of Buenos Aires, which you have as well. Those are a lot more dangerous, right?
Well, in my experience, we don't have a problem. But well,
Mm.
in the campo, I was always armed,
Yeah.
so I was prepared
Yeah.
for everything, but never happened. Never happened.
How do you, like, for example, now do you well, you, of course, you try to be always armed, as we all are, looking to stay safe. Do you have like any extra measures like alarms, dogs, stuff like that? Is
Well,
that something
yes,
you?
I have in the house. I have alarms,
Hmm.
but well, I have a dog, but it's a little one, but it's
Yeah,
very loud.
right. Yeah, of course. That also works. A loud dog
It
that
works.
barks. Yeah, 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 totally. And now Argentina is going again through a process of very high inflation. We were just talking
Yes,
about that in the
yes,
Spanish channel, which is insane now again.
yes.
Um, what would be your advice for people that have never experienced anything like
Well,
that? What would you advise them to do?
First of all, you have to take out your credit cards because the credit cards are very nasty when you have inflation issues.
Debt, right?
Yeah,
Debt. Get rid of debt.
you have to try to get everything in cash, and you have to reduce your tus gastos. ¿Cómo se llama?
Expenses. Your expenses.
Expenses. Yes.
Hmm.
So, well, I was doing that a few days ago. I sell some of my equipment, knives, and things like that to stop all the debt and began to use only cash.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm doing this because I don't want to have more problems in the future. Because I think in a few months we have elections. So after before elections, everything's going to be better because they're going to do a lot of
Yeah.
things before the after the election. But before the elections, who gets in the power gonna be very hard measures, ¿cuáles son medidas?
Yeah. They're going to be implementing all of the
Yes.
all of the tougher measures and economic.
It's going to be very hard, and I don't want to be in debt when that happens.
Right. It's getting rid of debt.
Yeah.
And we were talking when we were talking with Martin, another YouTuber from Argentina. We were talking about the things that keep value, the knives, the guns, the things that keep value as the currency depreciates and loses its value. Is that something you would?
Well, here in Argentina, we can't buy dollars.
Right.
You can't do it. So you have your money that is every day is worth less. Money is worthless. So you have to do something with that money because se va a pudrir. ¿Cómo se dice?
Yeah, it rots. It loses value, basically. Yes. It rots. That's a good expression. Yes, your money rots in your pocket.
Yes, that's it.
It expires like a sandwich.
What I do is to buy guns and buy good knives or good folding knives or good equipment.
Yeah.
Because these things always are in dollars here, and they don't depreciate. I don't know how to say
they don't depreciate in value. For example, something like this, like a zero tolerance. For example, this, which seems like expensive or excessive, it's still in Argentina. You can sell it for the same that you would in the US, right?
Exactly.
Or more, or even more, right?
Yes. So I have a bunch of guns that ones are for me for security, and others is like an investment.
Yes.
Investment.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that because I don't have. I tried to do crypto, but it was awful for me.
Really?
Yes.
What did you try doing? What happened to you?
Well, the crypto is you have to know about the business. You have to learn to read those Japanese candles and know when to sell, when to buy. You have to spend a lot of time. They never tell you how many times you have to be in front of the screen to know what you have to do. So I put a lot of money, and they said, "No, what is this automatic bots that do everything for you? They sell, they sell. These bots are fantastic. Well, you have to put money in these bots." Well, I put a lot of money, and it didn't work. Yes, I lost everything. So
but that was like an investment thing. It was an investment bot that invested the money for you, something like that.
Yes, something like that.
Those
there were platforms. Oh, platforms.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you have to be super careful with when I like the idea of having some Bitcoin, but not like an investment, like not in a website that invests for me, but just buying. If you buy $100 of Bitcoin, just have that, right? And the thing is, it's so volatile; it goes up and down so much that sometimes you make a freaking fortune, and the next day if you sell, you lose it all, right? Yeah. But it is somewhat of a tool, especially for I saw like in Venezuela as well as Argentina. I was reading now about a huge farm of Bitcoin in Argentina. We have like a warehouse, like full of computers, like a farm. Exactly.
Crypto farms, yes.
Yeah, crypto farms. Because electricity is cheaper, so it works for them. Yeah.
But I think that you have to, if you can, you have to buy gold. Gold is always the best option for surviving or preppers, all of that, because anywhere is value. So if you can buy gold,
The problem is, for example, for us in Argentina, it's not easy to buy gold and silver. It's always a lot more expensive than the spot price. And if you have to sell it, man, you usually lose quite a bit, right? When you sell it.
Yes. You always lost a little bit, but well, in comparison with inflation, you have
beats. Yes.
You won.
Yeah, but if you could, for example, buying instead dollars, it would be. I mean, most people in Argentina, they save in dollars, right? If they can.
When you
US
can.
Dollars.
But what dollars? You have inflation internationally, so dollars. But gold is always a better option because gold never go down with the price. It's always higher. And with wars like you have in Ukraine and like that, the gold is getting better price always. So it's always a good option, but you have this problem to can get it to buy it. It's not too easy to buy gold, but if you can do it, it's the best.
Yeah. Let me ask you. So, what is like your in terms of your preparedness, for survival stuff? Do you food storage, is that something you try to keep a certain amount of food stored specific?
I want to tell you something. 3 years ago, I was a fucking prepper in my mind, so I want to have
everything.
Have everything. I want to have liters of water and rice, tons of rice, tons of dry meat and of that. I bought a container. See the container. I want to make a hole in the garden to make the container, to make a
bunker.
So, well, I start to make all the numbers I want to do this and that, and how I do the stair to go down and the air ventilation. So I spent so many money.
But why? I mean, why would you want a bunker in Patagonia? It is one of the least. It's one of the least likely places in the planet to be bombed. No one ever thought about dropping a bomb in Patagonia. It is huge. You could just drop everything and never hit anything.
I want the bunker to keep safe all the food and the gas.
Right.
That was the idea. So I want to put security cameras.
Cameras, yes.
Well, I make numbers to say, oh, this is
super expensive.
Well, I stopped everything. I moved to the prepper mind to the survival mind. In prepper, what do you have? You're like a square. You want to get food, and to get all those things. But when you are out of food, you are a big problem. Sometimes. But the survival mind is to adapt to your environment, to adapt you from the source you have, so the source of water, the source of food. So I think that was smarter in my case, because I don't have the money to be a real prepper. But I could be a real
survivalist. I think that a lot of that is because of what you see on TV shows and what you see on the reality TV show, like a survival prepper, doomsday preppers. And when you think about it, why would you even need a bunker in Patagonia, given how massive it is? And
it was crazy. It was something crazy that you do it like it's like a game, but you think that probably will happen, and you're not thinking right. That's the real thing. You're not thinking right, because those things is very unlikely or
unlikely.
Muy probable que no suceda, ¿no?
Exactly. That's unlikely, and
unlikely they happen.
there's a strategic analysis as well. If you are like in a town in the United States, but in Patagonia, the idea of you needing a bunker makes no sense whatsoever.
I have friends that they are very, very convinced that there is going to be a zombie apocalypse.
Right,
They are
yeah.
very, very convinced that no, in 10 years it's going to be because this, what, that. Well, you have people for everything, no?
Yeah,
but well, my idea was that in an economic problem, in an economy, let's say, breakthrough
collapse or
collapse, in a complete economic collapse, to have my food because I don't want my family have
go hungry.
Yes, but that was not a real solution because it's a solution for 4 months, for a little time.
It's not a permanent solution.
Yes, not permanent solution. It's not permanent solution. And then I thought, well, these things never happen. But you say, you look in Ukraine, you have a complete destruction, destruction,
bombing.
Yes. If you were there, you no te serviría todo esto. ¿Cómo se diría?
Yes. Well, this is what I say so often in the channel, that for the worst case, the worst case scenario, right? Yes. A year worth of food, it doesn't make any difference. You still have to get it the hell out of there because it's not going to do you. If you're in Bakhmut, the year of food you have, you're still dead. And if you're in Ukraine, but in Kiev, you're still working a normal job in spite of the invasion.
The social issue, I don't know if you say tejido social.
Yeah, yes, that's correct. Yes,
it never breaks, like you see in the movies. You have no policeman, you have no law. There's it does never happen. Even in Ukraine,
and even when it happens, it's for like periods of time or for moments. Or for example, in Venezuela, which they have like a huge economic crisis or collapse in Venezuela. In Venezuela,
you don't see Mad Max in Venezuela,
right? Exactly. Even if it's very dangerous, even if it's very dangerous, it's still people still live and go through their lives.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, well, I have a moderation, I would say.
A maturity period.
So I say, well, but I like the idea, and I like, you see, to play with these things, like to make an EDC, and you put a lot of things that you're never going to use.
What is the most useful thing you actually use? The thing you actually, that would be part of your EDC, the stuff that you actually use?
Look, my EDC now is...
Right now, for example.
Cellular phone.
Yeah, your phone, of course.
My wallet.
Yeah.
I have the... ¿Cómo es llavero? Key.
Yeah, your keychain.
Keychains. That is from Victorinox.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Nice.
The mini champ. Victorinox mini.
Classic.
Classics, And today I'm also wearing a Huntsman. I have a suspension clip to put in your pocket, so it doesn't bother the weight of the folding knife. This is what I'm using now, but 2 years ago, 3 years ago, my EDC was something like this.
So you downscaled your EDC. Did you actually carry that all day long with you?
Well, yes. I use it all day. I say, well, why I'm doing 2 kilos of equipment if I don't use it?
Right, dragging around stuff that you don't use. Yes, that's
I do have a nice EDC. Well, I don't call it EDC, but in the bike, I have equipment that I always take when I go out, and it's very interesting. I have a lot of things. You want? I show you.
For a motorcycle, you mean you have like a bag there with stuff for an emergency?
A lot of things that is very interesting.
Have you ever had to use it for any emergencies or anything that happened unexpectedly, and you were like, "Haha, I'm ready. I have my stuff here.
That's never happened.
And what about your, your knives? Yeah, your knives, you do use them, right? Yes.
Yes, of course, of course. But when you see, when you're thinking about surviving, you say, well, if I'm in a plane and I'm crashing the jungle,
yeah, the fantasy.
I will have my survival knife. But you're in a plane, they don't let you to have your survival knife. No?
Yeah.
Likely it's gonna be in the baggage in the bottom of the plane, and you have to find it in the fire. So it's gonna be very difficult.
That's the fantasy. A lot of people have the fantasy of, I buy this and that because when I'm in the jungle, and when you don't even live close to a damn jungle, so
it's a big fantasy that all we have. That we are going to be in jeopardy in the jungle, and you never go to the jungle.
Well, but for example, for this stuff like in guns, in terms of security, that is something that could realistically happen.
Yes,
that you need a gun for self-defense.
Well, in my case, here in Argentina, you cannot have your gun with you.
Yeah, concealed carry.
Concealed carrying. It's very difficult to have.
Very difficult.
Carrying. Very
difficult. Some people still do it. Even
yes, they do it.
Some people still do it.
It's not legal. It's not legal.
Yeah.
But you can use your guns in your home. In your home, you can go with
defend yourself.
Arms with you. Yes, you can cook if you want. You can cook with a 911.
Yeah.
But I don't use my guns for defense. I have it ready
just in case.
Just in case. But I'm not living in a orange code. You say
like, always alert.
Always alert. So it doesn't work, because if I'm now in my home here and a thief go for the door, I'm done, because I don't have my weapon with me.
On you.
Okay. And for that happen, you have always to have your gun with you, and you have to be trained, and you have to be prepared, and you have to live on red alert, on orange alert
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And it's very stressful for me.
Yes, so it is super stressful.
I can't live like that.
Yeah, it's true. Always being like ready for a fight. When you really are that way, it really takes a toll. It's very stressful, and there's only so many years that you can live like that. I mean, I lived like that for a long time in Buenos Aires. I lived like that really all the time, and it drives you nuts. Eventually, it starts getting to you. It's like you have PTSD, because you're always and the worst part is that it's not that you're fantasizing, because in the conurbano of Buenos Aires, it's every day and someone gets killed. That's different from.
I have friends that live in Quilmes or Morocco, and they go to their home, back to the work, and they have to call to the husband or something, and I'm going, open the door, so in the house they have arms. They're waiting for the
person to arrive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it is a lot more stressful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But well, given that you're so far from Buenos Aires, you don't see people living like that right over there. People are a lot more relaxed.
Here's very relaxing.
Yeah.
Yes, relaxing.
Someone asked here.
I live in a town in front of the sea. So
seafront, like in front of the sea.
This is a town of 4,000 people, so it's very small.
Right.
Very, very quiet.
Everyone knows one another. All the neighbors know one another.
Yes. So it's very peaceful. So
it's very safe.
It's very safe.
Someone asked here if there's pumas in Patagonia.
Yes,
Roberto.
Yes.
Do you have pumas?
Yes. I see pumas in real life, and when I live in the campo. I was to take it out of the sheep because they always
Try to eat it, right?
yes. There's a problem when the puma, the mother puma, is trying to teach the
how to hunt.
How to hunt, yes, to the little pumitas, and they make disasters because they don't need the sheep. They only hunt and kill, hunt and kill, hunt and kill. So you see, a bunch of 20 sheep dead. They just say, "Oh, what happened here?" And it was a mother with 2 or 3
with
sons.
A couple.
They make disasters.
Cubs, yes. Well, I lived in Córdoba for a while, and I knew this woman that I think it was her brother that got killed by a puma going to school because they were like, again, living in las sierras in Córdoba. And all of this
yes.
So yeah, I mean, the puma killed her brother. So it's sad but they had to walk like several miles.
Here is very, very difficult that a puma attacks you because they are not.
They're more sketchy.
They are hiding. They don't want to confront.
They're scared of people.
Yeah, they're scared of people. They don't want to hurt you or to attack you. But if they seem to be attacked or in jeopardy by the humans, they are going to react, and it can hurt you or kill you. Yes, they're big animals and very.
In Córdoba, there was quite a bit of pumas and stories like that of people getting killed or hurt by pumas. They also go hunting. There's quite a bit of dog hunting.
Yes,
with dog and knife hunting.
It's very awful. The dog hunting, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it. I went. I do hunting of hawks with how you say ballesta is
with crossbow.
Yeah, I use that word all the day, and now but I do hawk hunting with crossbow, and sometimes I went to hawk hunting with dogs, but it's
very violent, right?
Very nasty. It's very nasty because the hawk suffered a lot.
Yeah.
The dogs were very hunted. Herida, ¿cómo se dice?
Yeah, wounded.
Right. They were wounded, but
very bad.
Seriously, they can.
They kill sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of dogs, of hunting dogs that die every day in those hunting because the hawks are super strong animals. They are very, very
very vicious, right? They're very strong.
Yes. I have a lot of confrontations with hawks, and it's not.
How do you deal with like reloading? Because you shoot it once with a crossbow, you have to reload fast, right? So as to shoot again.
You always have to go with a gun. I always go with the 45 or the 38. 38 is a little weak for a hawk. 44 Magnum is the best, but I don't have 44. But
with the 45 ACP, it stops the.
Stop it. Yes, you can stop it. But it depends on the animal. It's very big. Well, you think you're not doing nothing. With 9 millimeters, it's like.
Really, it's not. You have to place the shot very well.
Yes, you have to place very well the shots because. You don't have stopping power, so you should. Well, in one moment it's gonna be you're gonna die because it's bleeding. But you need stopping power in those moments because you need to stop the hawk there because it's crush you. You're in very big problems. The injuries it can make you very, very difficult.
Yeah, because it has those tusks, no? The teeth, like they're long, like knives, and they just go and catch you with those. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone is asking here, Ricardo Correa, about what is your opinion on the center axis relock system to apply in defense shooting? Is this worth learning, or would it be overkill? That's from a guy called Castle. I don't remember his name. He passed, sadly. The Synteract, the car system, I think it's a little bit gimmicky. Some people, I think it's like very compact like that, but yeah, I think it's not something you want to invest a lot of time on. David A says Texas has a wild hog problem. There's a lot of hogs in Texas.
Yes, I see a lot of videos there in Texas. They have a really big problem with hogs because they destroy all the sembradíos. How say
the plantations?
The plantations. They destroy everything. Also, I saw a guy who has a minigun in the roof of the ram. They put a minigun and
start shooting with a minigun.
So it's a big problem in Texas. The hogs. Well, they have a lot of guns in Texas, so they can handle.
I saw a video of a guy in Texas. They were small hogs. They were not big, but he was hunting them with a spear. And he was like, it was a wild video. The guy was running like barefoot. So he was running barefoot with a spear and night vision. And he was like stabbing one and the other. I think that in like a 10-minute video, he killed like 30 little piglets. They were not all that big, but the wild boar, the big ones that you sometimes find in Argentina, is a very powerful animal.
There's a big problem with hogs all around the world.
True. It's not just there.
Spain has a lot of problems. Here we have a lot of problems because here in Argentina there was no hogs. It's not
a native species.
It's not exactly. They came from Europe in the 1920 or something like that.
Yeah,
they take here for hunting and have no
natural enemies.
The hounds have no enemies, so you can stop them. In some province you can hunt it. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem. So would there be any like specific advice for, because one of the things in my channel is that people look at Argentina as something that could happen in their country as well, especially with this stuff regarding inflation. And sometimes it's difficult because we are so used to it after so many years of always having such a high inflation that there's gonna be differences, like I'm gonna say
stuff like that
to those people to be quiet, to be relaxed, because what happens in Argentina is only happens in Argentina. It's not going to happen in your country. No, it's only happened here.
The thing is this, that one of the things that worries me is that a bank run, for example, after so many years of being so used to it, in Argentina, people don't react. Like you have 100% inflation and you don't react. In the United States, with 100% inflation, half the country would be burning. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's the way it has to be.
It should be, right? Yes. That would be normal.
Okay.
Another Tuesday, 100% inflation.
Another day in the office.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's important to make the difference between the fantasy of the doomsday prepper fantasy of all the crap you probably don't need, maybe saving the money, getting rid of debt, buying things that keep their value, right?
That's it.
Those would be maybe the best.
Yes, those are the advice. Yes. Those are advice.
Finding a safe place to live in, getting away of the dangerous.
That's the most important thing. If you live in a place that has a lot of violence, has a lot of crime, well, think if you can live somewhere else. If you're in a good moment to prepare the move, from your family to another place, you'd be safer.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's better to have a bunker. Well, much better, because if you go to a safety place, you don't need a bunker. You don't need to spend all that money in something you're not going to use. So that's the best advice.
Yeah. So buy guns because they keep their value. You're doing what for all the people, because my English audience has a lot more guns than my Spanish one, you know. They buy a lot of guns, but it's money well spent. It always keeps its value. Like we were talking about my Python over there. Those are guns that always keep their value very well.
Of course. And well, the Glock is like a patron of money, no?
It's like a little bar of gold.
Yeah, because how cost 17 Glock 17?
A used one could be $300, give or take, 300, 400, maybe less or more.
And 10 years ago, it was much more the same.
Kind of like the same, yes. It actually has gone up in price. A used Glock, I think that now is a little bit more expensive than before. Yeah. So it keeps its value very well, or even increases it.
Yes. Well, a Python is like a very good business.
The thing with a Python, unlike a Glock, for example, I think it's the same thing in the United States than in Argentina. If you have to sell a gun in Argentina, the Glock is the one you will sell the fastest, a lot faster than selling a Python. The Python may be more expensive, but the Glock you will sell a lot faster.
It's like easy money to have.
Easy.
You can sell it very, very quick. That's it.
You can quickly convert it. So if you find like a good deal, for example, one of the things that happens, for example, a police department that closes or changes guns, all of a sudden they sell their old guns for a lot cheaper. And maybe you can stock up on maybe 10, 15 Glocks for a fraction of what they cost.
Yeah. Well, this doesn't happen here in Argentina.
Wait a minute.
Revolver.
Yeah.
Llama.
Right.
Llama. You have a lot of revolver Llama.
I bought.
Security. Companies, they take it away and you can buy it for a little money.
I bought used high powers. You probably did too. Like in a huge box, like a lot of FM high powers, like 200 pesos, which was nothing. It was nothing. And I would buy like 2 or 3 at a time of those. And when they were selling good times. Those were good times.
The 1990s, like the 1980, 92, 90, with Menem. We have a very good business with arms.
But you could buy like I would go to the gun store and they would have like a huge box of FM high powers, and you would just look for the nicer ones, and grab a few of them.
It was crazy.
Or the old 1911s or the Ballester
Molina. Yes.
Another good gun. Great gun.
You can bought files. Files with it was very easy.
FAL, yes.
FAL. It was very easy to bought in that time.
Yeah, and we all wish we would have bought like more of them, like buy 2 or 3 FALs. Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah, it was another time. Anyway, Gustavo, I think we covered lots of things here nicely. But I think that people have a better idea now because they always hear me tell my version of things. And it is true that over there where you are, it's a different experience going through all of this stuff, right?
Oh, yes. Well, I hope your subscribers can interpret me.
Understand? They understand you better. Yes, no problem.
It was a pleasure for me to be here. So I'm very, very glad to be here. So thank you.
Thank you so much, man. And that's going to be all for now. As always, you have the channel. You have, if you want to learn more about Gustavo's channel, In Spanish, of course, PatagoniaSupervivencia 4x4.
Oh,
you will have the
now-
links there.
Now YouTube can translate automatically with the
Yeah,
subtitles,
that's true.
so you can use
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and learn about some of his collection of knives. You have some nice like bayonets and sabers, stuff like that, right? You bought a
Right.
nice you bought a nice saber, un sable, recently.
Yeah, sabers. Yes, I have a lot of. I have
Lots
a
of
lot of
stuff like
sabers.
that.
Yes, military stuff I like. And wow, big knife like this one. So I love this.
Cool.
It's
Nice.
big bad boys.
Okay, man. Well, thank you so much, and that's gonna be all for now, folks. Bye. Take care.
Bye bye.